Say it loud. Crisis is not my end. Say it again. This is not my funeral. It's a management test. One more time till your spirit hears it. Crisis is not a miracle problem. It is a management test. Write that down. Pin it to your refrigerator. Put it in your phone. Say it to your neighbor. Say it to your fears. I know what's in the room. Unstable markets. Layoffs on Monday. Rumors on Tuesday. Pink slips on Wednesday. Prices rising like a tide that won't turn back. Savings shrinking. Some of you checking your accounts more than you check your Bible. Anxiety whispering at 2 a.m. What if? What now? What next? I came to tell you, anxiety is an alarm clock, not a steering wheel. It alerts you to manage. It does not license you to panic. Take a deep breath. Square your shoulders. Kingdom people, lift your head. Write this down. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Say it again. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. To everything there is a season. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Read it in your mind while I quote it. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. Seasons guarantee two things. They come and they go. In the Bahamas, I learned that even the fiercest hurricane is a traveler. It moves, it roars, it rattles the shutters, it throws coconuts across the yard, but it keeps moving. Hurricanes don't live on your roof. So do not build a life decision out of a passing storm. Don't burn the house God asked you to manage because the wind got loud for a night. This is alignment night. We are aligning your mind with the king's economy. What is kingdom economics? Simple. God's principles plus your stewardship. Faith is not denial. Faith is disciplined action based on truth. James 2:17 says, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Luke 16:10 adds, whoever is faithful with little will be faithful with much. Proverbs 27:23 commands, know well the condition of your flocks and give attention to your herds. That's budget language from a shepherd. That's management before miracle. Let me anchor you deeper. Genesis 8:22. This is your weather report. For life, as long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. Say never cease. Seasons are law. Laws reduce fear because predictability is leadership's best friend. The economy has winter, yes, but God guarantees spring. So what do? We do not blame the winter, we manage for it. We do not curse the cold, we insulate the house. I promise you structure tonight, not just inspiration, insulation. I will walk you through 7 kingdom steps that will build insulation into your finances, your family, your mind. I call them winter walls. They keep the heat in and the cold out. We will audit your house. We will build a winter reserve. We will convert your gift into value. We will upgrade your skills. We will create multiple streams. We will reduce exposure. And we will keep giving and serving. Not next year, this week. You will have steps you can take before Friday. Clap your hands if you're ready for that. But first, alignment. The first test of a crisis is not the size of your bank account. It's the quality of your management. When God wanted to change a widow's condition in 2 Kings 4, the prophet did not give her a miracle first. He asked a management question. What do you have in your house? When Jesus faced a hungry multitude in John 6, he did not complain about the crowd. He took inventory. What do you have? 5 loaves and 2 fish became a distribution enterprise because management turned scarcity into strategy. Write this down. God multiplies what you manage, not what you mourn. Some of you are waiting for a thunderbolt when God is waiting for a notebook. You're praying for rain with no containers. Faith prays. Management places the buckets. Here is kingdom balance. We do not deny the storm. We deny it the power to define us. We do not pretend prices aren't rising. We adapt. Matthew 6:30, 1:3. Therefore, do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink? For your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Seeking the kingdom first does not mean you sit still. It means you apply the king's order to your life. Order is the womb of increase. Let me talk to your fear in a story. A young brother in our church let's call him Daniel, lost his job when his company restructured. That's a fancy word for winter. He came to me shaking, rent due, 2 children, wife discouraged. We prayed. Then I said, bring me your numbers. He brought receipts, subscriptions, a list of everything in his house. We cut what leaked. We sold what sat idle. We inventoried his gift. He could repair appliances with his eyes closed. Within 2 weeks, he had 5 clients from one WhatsApp broadcast. Within 5 months, he wasn't talking layoffs. He was hiring part-time help. Not a miracle first, a management test pass. Then the miracles follow. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Hear me. Stop dooming your destiny. Stop prophesying defeat over a season. The devil loves confusion, but the kingdom runs on clarity. Tonight, clarity is coming to your mind. We will not break, we will build. We will not freeze, we will insulate. Write this down. Storms expose structure. Crisis doesn't create character, it reveals it. If your house is built on sand, impulse spending, no reserves, no plan, the wind will teach you a lesson. But if you rebuild on the rock, the word, wisdom, and work, the same wind will become your testimony. Jesus said in Matthew 7 that the house on the rock faced the same rain, the same flood, the same wind, but it did not fall. So here is our agreement as we begin. We will not run to permanent decisions. No knee-jerk quitting. No panic selling. No abandoning your purpose because of one quarter's report. We will submit to management. We will marry principle, not panic. We will turn anxiety into a checklist. Inventory, adjust, activate, and align. Kingdom people, say it loud. This is a test I will pass. Say it again. I will manage this season. One more time. Crisis is not my end. It is my classroom. And class begins now. Now lean in. Write this down. Seasons are law. Say it again. Seasons are law. One more time, till your fear hears it. Seasons are law. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Read that with your spirit. Everything has a season. Not some things, everything. Loss has a season. Profit has a season. Tight grocery money has a season. New contracts have a season. If you can name it, it has a season. Genesis 8:22 is God's weather report for your life. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will not cease. Not maybe, not if the central banks meet, will not cease. That means cycles are not curses, they are calendars. Write it down. Panic is what happens when you misunderstand how life works. When you understand seasons, your soul settles. Why? Because seasons guarantee 2 things. They arrive and they depart. Nothing is permanent except God and His promises. Shout that nothing is permanent except God and His promises. That means your present discomfort is a traveler. It has an exit date. Your present uncertainty is a season. It has a timetable. We don't control the arrival of winter, but we absolutely control how prepared our house is when it blows through. The wise do not argue with winter, they adjust for it. You don't rebuke December in Chicago. You don't call January a demon. You change clothes. You close the windows. You turn on the heat. You buy boots on sale in summer. That's not unbelief, that's understanding seasons. Write this down. You cannot stop the cold. You can build insulation. That is kingdom strategy. You don't waste prayer asking God to cancel winter. You ask for wisdom to prepare for it. James 1-5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given. Wisdom is God's thermostat in a changing climate. It tells you when to layer up, when to plant, when to harvest, when to store. Joseph didn't fast the famine away in Genesis 41. He managed it. He saw a winter season coming and built barns. 7 years of plenty were not for bragging, they were for building a reserve. Write this down. Provision in spring is not only for spending, it is for storing. I grew up watching hurricanes roll past the islands. You can measure their speed and their path. We never sat on the porch shouting at the wind. We boarded the windows. We filled water. We called the neighbors. That's insulation. That's systems. That's relationships. The economy has hurricanes, credit crunches, layoffs, interest rate spikes. But kingdom people have boards and buckets, budgets, reserves, skills, networks, and disciplines. You don't stop the storm. You strengthen the structure. Jesus said in Matthew 7, the house on the rock and the house on the sand face the same rain, the same floods, the same winds, same climate, different outcomes. What was the variable? Foundation, management, insulation. Hear me. If seasons are guaranteed, then change is guaranteed. If change is guaranteed, then panic is misplaced energy. Panic is paying interest on a future that hasn't billed you yet. Preparation, on the other hand, is converting tomorrow's forecast into today's checklist. Proverbs 6 says, go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. The ant doesn't have a bank, a budget app, or a finance minister, but it knows seasons. It gathers in summer for winter, no panic. No prayer meeting for acorns, just management. Write this down. Wisdom watches the calendar. Fools watch the headlines. So let's translate this doctrine into your kitchen table. Winter in the economy looks like clients delaying payments, hours reduced, prices inching up, volatility up and down. That's not the devil stealing your identity. That's a season revealing your systems. You don't change your name in winter. You change your methods. Kingdom identity remains methods. Flex. Say it out loud. My identity is permanent. My methods are flexible. Psalm 1 says, the righteous are like a tree planted by streams that yields its fruit in its season. Its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. Did you see it? Fruit in its season. Leaves steady. Roots by water. The fruit schedule may shift. The root system stays connected. That's you. Connected to the source. Steady in identity. Flexible in tactics. You're not called to be a thermometer that reports the temperature. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. You're a thermostat that sets an internal climate. Peace here. Discipline here. Giving here. Diligence here. Philippians 4:6 says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Prayer calms the heart. Principles order the hands. After you pray, you put on your economic coat. You keep your giving consistent because the God of seed time and harvest didn't suspend his law for winter. You tighten your budget because insulation keeps the heat from leaking. You study and upgrade because skills are sweaters the cold can't penetrate. You nurture relationships because in winter, community is a fireplace. Let me make you smile and remember this. In summer, I buy winter jackets. Why? Because stores discount what the season forgets. Kingdom people know how to buy future protection at present prices. Some of you will walk past opportunities this winter because they don't look like palm trees. But in every winter, there is a sale, assets that drop, rents that negotiate, clients that need reliable, humble excellence. While others are complaining, you are collecting. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Write this down. Seasons shift prices. Wise people shift posture. One sister in our congregation, called her Maria, laughed when I preached this the first time. She said, Pastor, I'm not from a winter country. I said, economies have winters everywhere. She worked in hospitality tips, well, her summer. When travel slowed, that was her winter. We talked. She listed her relationships, chefs, event planners, vendors. She called them and said, I can manage small events in homes. Winter was raging in hotels, but birthdays didn't stop. She changed clothes. She didn't shout at January. She put on boots. She insulated with systems, packages, deposits, referrals. Winter ended, but by spring, she had a side enterprise that never closed again. Not a miracle first management applied to a season. Hear this challenge with love. Stop making permanent statements about temporary weather. Stop saying, I'll never get ahead. I'll always be broke. There's no hope. Whatever you call it, that's what it becomes to you. Your words are steering wheels. Instead, say, this is a season and I am a manager. God's promises are permanent. My plan is flexible. I won't change my confession. I will change my calendar. If you're used to eating mangoes in June, don't curse the tree in December. Prune it, water it, prepare for June. Meanwhile, learn recipes with what's in season now. That is how kingdom people outlast panic. They turn theology into timing. Let me answer a question that is rising. If God guarantees spring, why should I prepare? Because spring exposes preparation. The unprepared waste spring. The prepared reap it. Galatians 6-9 says, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Your due season is an appointment. Preparation is how you arrive dressed for it. If you show up to a job interview in a swimsuit in January, it's not the weather's fault. The economy is interviewing you right now. Winter questions: are you insulated, disciplined, diversified, relationally connected, and faithful? Answer with your plan, not your panic. Write this down. God's promises are permanent. My methods must be flexible. We do not adjust our righteousness. We adjust our routines. We don't alter our integrity. We alter our budget. We don't silence our generosity. We sharpen our stewardship. We don't abandon our gift. We adapt its delivery. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9, I have become all things to all people, not changing his identity in Christ, but adjusting his approach to win more. That's seasonal intelligence. That's kingdom agility. So here is your immediate application while we build the winter walls in the coming steps. Tonight, accept the law of seasons. Say it aloud. This is a season. It will pass. Next, locate your coat. What systems, what skills, what reserves, what relationships are your insulation? Start a simple list. Money systems, budget, auto savings, skill systems, courses, mentors, relationship systems, accountability, collaboration, generosity systems, percentage giving, scheduled service. Don't wait for perfect weather to begin. Put one board on the window tonight. Make one call. Cancel one leak. Schedule one upgrade. Set one automatic savings. Faith by itself, if it does not have work, is dead. But faith with seasonal wisdom is unstoppable. Finally, breathe. The economy has winter, but God guarantees spring. Seed time and harvest will not cease. As long as the earth endures, your life will witness cycles. And as long as the King reigns, your life can be anchored. You do not have to be tossed by every headline. You will not be a victim of the temperature. You are planted, not potted. You are rooted by rivers that do not freeze. Lift your hands in your heart and say it with me. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Say it again. Seasons are law. And because seasons are law, preparation is leadership. We are done panicking. We are beginning to prepare. The next move is yours. We will build insulation together step by step until the cold can visit but never conquer. Before we put another board on the window, we must secure the name on the house. Write this down. Numbers are reports, not royalty. Do not let a report dethrone a child of the king. Job loss, reduced income, debt pressure. These are conditions, not names. Say it with me. I am not my paycheck. Louder. I am not my balance. One more time. So the spirit of fear hears you through the wall. I am not my numbers. I am God's. Identity is where storms either end or escalate. If the wind can rename you, it can rule you. That's why fear does not come merely to frighten. Fear comes to baptize you in a false name. Unemployed, behind, broke, hopeless. But your Father already named you. Isaiah 43:1. Hear him. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Write this down. God names. Christ's only nickname. Never accept a nickname as a destiny. Jesus looked at anxious people in Matthew 6 and said, your Father knows what you need. That's not poetry, that's policy. Kingdom policy. Read it with your spirit. Your Father knows. Before you open the banking app, He knows. Before the bill prints, He knows. Before the boss schedules the meeting, He knows. If He knows, panic loses its logic. We don't pretend there isn't a bill. We refuse to promote the bill to lordship. Worry is unauthorized worship. You cannot worship money's report and God's promise at the same time. Choose your altar. Write this down. Kingdom people don't pretend. they stand. We are not in denial, we are in definition. We define ourselves by the word, and then we face the world. Psalm 62:6 says, He only is my rock and my salvation. I shall not be shaken. Not because the wind stops, but because the name on the deed is unshakable. Fear will always try to force a signature on a permanent decision. Sell the house in a panic. Quit the assignment in a frenzy. Speak death over your future at 2 a.m. But faith says, hold the pen. Say it. I will not respond permanently to a temporary season. Say it again. Tell your neighbor, I'm still standing. Let me speak as a father for a moment. I know what it feels like to watch numbers move the wrong way. I also know what it feels like to have the Spirit say, stand up straight, remember your surname, you're a kingdom person. Matthew 6:32 calls anxious, seeking the way of the pagans, people without a covenant. That's not you. You have a father. You have a king. You have a constitution that doesn't expire when markets correct. Philippians 4:19 is still in your Bible. My God shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. Not according to NASDAQ. Not according to your cousin's opinion. According to his riches. Write this down. Identity regulates emotional temperature. Numbers are weather. Identity is the thermostat. If you forget who you are, you become a thermometer. Up when it's up, down when it's down. But when you remember who you are, you set a climate. Peace here, clarity here, diligence here, generosity here. That's why Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If you think I am debt, you act like bondage. If you think I am a steward, you act like management. Same bill, different behavior. Let me give you a story you'll remember. One brother, we'll call him Trevor, walked into my office with a stack of late notices like a bouquet of thorns. He said, Pastor, I'm a failure. I said, no, you are a man with past due bills. He blinked. I repeated it. He started to cry. Why? Because fear had handed him a name tag and he wore it to bed. We did not pray for a new name. We remembered the old one's son, steward, citizen of the kingdom. When the name stabilized, the plan could land. We called the creditors with dignity, not groveling. We renegotiated terms. We sold 2 idle items. We started percentage giving again, yes, in winter. Because identity gives before it grasps. 3 months later, he walked back with fewer papers and straighter shoulders. Hear me. When your who gets fixed, your how gets wise. Some of you are like Daniel and his friends in Babylon in Daniel 1. The empire tried to rename them Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, but their internal diet didn't change. They resolved. Resolve is identity in action. Write it down. Resolve is a decision about myself that stabilizes my decisions about my money. Decide this tonight. I am a faithful steward. I am a disciplined manager. I am a generous giver. I am not for sale to fear. Say it loud, fear. You cannot rename me. Say it again. My Father knows what I need. I need to poke a sacred cow kindly. Your job title is not your identity. Titles move. Callings remain. Your job is what you were trained to do. Your work is what you were born to do. You can be fired from your job, but you can never be fired from your work. If a company spreadsheet closes a door, heaven's assignment is still open. That's why we won't panic when HR calls. We'll prepare to convert our gifts into value. But before we get to that step, plant this deep. Losing a place of employment is not losing your place in the kingdom. Luke 12:32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The kingdom is not a paycheck. It is a government, righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit, and it has an economy that rewards management. Write this down. Identity creates clarity. Clarity produces choices. When you know who you are, you stop chasing impressions and start choosing principles. You cancel the subscriptions that subsidize a false image. You keep the giving that honors your true source. You negotiate from dignity, not desperation. You can look a lender in the eye and say, here is my plan, because you remembered your name before you reviewed your numbers. And hear me, clarity makes the 7 steps we are about to walk not just possible, but possible. Say it with me again and let it settle like concrete. I will not respond permanently to a temporary season. I am not my paycheck. I am not my balance. I am a child of the King, a steward of his resources, a manager under his laws. Tell your neighbor, I'm still standing. Tell your other neighbor, my Father knows what I need. Now lift that same voice and thank God that your name is written in heaven, not in a credit report. Names matter. Heaven calls you beloved, redeemed, planted, righteous in Christ. Numbers will change 5 times this week. Your name in God will not. So here is the bridge into action. From a seated identity, we can now stand up in practical management without wobbling. Identity disarms panic. Panic makes foolish purchases. Identity restores patience. Patience unlocks favor in conversations. Identity reorders loyalty. Loyalty to God's way restructures your calendar. The heart is stabilized. The fog is lifting. Now, we can ask real questions without shame. What do I have in my house? Where's the leak? What is my gift? Which cost is image and which is stewardship? We are ready because we remember who we are. The wind may blow, but the name on this house is not for rent. Let's build. Now that your name is nailed to the door, let's open that door and look inside. Write this down. Before you ask God for increase, manage what is already in your house. Say it with me. What do I have in my house? Louder. What is in my hand? This is not poetry. This is divine procedure. In 2 Kings 4, a widow faced creditors knocking like winter on her porch. She didn't get a miracle lecture. She got a management question. What do you have in your house? She answered with lack. Nothing except a little oil. That's how fear talks. Nothing except. The prophet issued a management plan. Go borrow vessels, not a few. Shut the door, pour, set aside what is full, sell the oil, pay your debt, live on the rest. Inventory, systems, boundaries, distribution. That's a business plan in a famine. Write this down. God multiplies what you manage, not what you ignore. The question, what is in your hand, echoes through Scripture. Moses, Exodus 4. A stick looked like a stick until management recognized it as an instrument. Some of you are tripping over assets because they are camouflaged as ordinary. A subscription here, a tool there, an extra room, a relationship, a recipe, a reputation for reliability. But you will not see it until you scan it. So tonight, kingdom people, we perform what I call a management scan. No shame, just truth. No groaning, just growing. Proverbs 27-23 says, know well the condition of your flocks and give attention to your herds. That is ancient budget language. Luke 14:28 adds, which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost? Sit down first, count first, build after. Here is how we do it. Simple, actionable, holy. Step 1, list your inflows. Not fantasy money, real money. Net income per month. Average it over the last 3 months. If it fluctuates, write the low number. We build on rock, not wishful thinking. Step 2, list your essentials. Shelter, utilities, basic groceries, transportation to produce income, insurance, necessary medications. And yes, your committed giving, because your identity informs your ledger. Highlight these in green. Essentials keep the house warm. Step 3, list every debt, balance, interest rate, minimum payment, due date. Put them in one place. Some of you are afraid to look, but listen, giants shrink when measured. Put your debts in yellow for manageable, red for urgent. Step 4, list subscriptions and services. Streaming, apps, gyms, storage units, extra phone lines, extended warranties that extended nothing, delivery passes, luxury memberships. You visit twice a month. This is where the little foxes spoil the vines. Song of Songs 2:15. Write this down. What you don't measure will manage you. Subscriptions are silent landlords collecting rent on your future. Step 5, identify leaks and non-essentials, bank fees, late fees, daily convenience splurges, impulse buys, status spending to keep up with people who don't pay your bills. Put a red circle around every leak, not your leisure, your leak. Now breathe. We are not here to condemn you. We are here to crown you with wisdom. Budgets are not bondage. They are boundaries. Boundaries do not imprison freedom. They protect it. A fence around a garden is not punishment. It is protection for fruit you work for. Write this down. If you don't put a fence around your money, wolves will. Wolves have brand names and polite invoices. A budget is you telling your money where to go instead of asking it where it went. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. A budget is vision translated into restraint. Restraint today is released tomorrow. Now, concrete directives, do them this week. Write it down. Cancel what you don't need. If it doesn't feed your future, it's feeding on your future. Renegotiate what you can. Call the internet provider. Ask for a loyalty rate. Call insurance. Adjust deductibles intelligently. Ask your credit card for a lower APR or consider a 0% transfer with a payoff plan, not as a new lifestyle. Reduce without losing dignity. You don't cut integrity ever. You don't cut honor ever. But you can cut cable. You can pause luxury salons for 90 days. You can take lunch from your own kitchen and make peace with a thermos. Reduction is not rejection of your value, it is recognition of your season. Say it. Reduce without losing dignity. Bring your household into the light. If you are married or share expenses, have a kitchen table board meeting. Pray first, then plan. Put the green, yellow, and red on paper where both can see it. No blame. No history lessons. Just facts and faith. Facts tell you where you are. Faith tells you where you can go. Wisdom builds the bridge. Agree on a spending plan for 30 days. Not forever, 30 days. 30 days of clarity beats 300 days of confusion. Use envelopes if you must. Groceries, fuel, personal. When the envelope is empty, the conversation is honest. Set automatic payments for essentials to avoid late fees, because foolish fees are taxes on disorganization. And if possible, consolidate accounts to eliminate monthly charges. Every dollar you rescue is a soldier for your future. Let me give you a testimony, because story cements truth. Sister Keisha, a nurse, told me she was broke by the 15th every month. We did a management scan. 8 subscriptions, 8 that she didn't even watch. $186 a month recovered in 20 minutes. Bank fees, $14 a month, because she never set up a minimum balance. We called. They refunded 3 months and waived going forward with one simple change. Her car insurance dropped $42 when she adjusted mileage and bundled renter's insurance. Total rescue, $242 a month recurring, plus $42 one-time refund. That's $3,000 a year. She was leaking, not because the devil was big, but because visibility was small. Write this down. Visibility is insulation layer 1. You cannot defend what you refuse to define. What about income gaps, Pastor? We will address streams and skills shortly. But hear me. Pour what you have into prepared vessels first. The widow did not pray for oil while spilling it on the floor. She collected containers. Your containers are categories, boundaries, and plans. Then when increase comes, and it will, you will not waste spring. Daniel, whom I mentioned earlier, found clients because his house was audited. He knew his his minimum monthly obligations. That knowledge turned fear into a target. Targets create energy. As you scan, look for hidden assets. Do you have unused tools you can sell or deploy? A spare room you can rent for 90 days? A vehicle sitting idle that could become cash or be used for value creation? Closets have oil. Garages have oil. Hard drives have oil notes, templates, skills. But inventory comes before innovation. What is in your house? What is in your hand? Don't despise small, count small. Jesus fed thousands with a boy's lunch because somebody counted the loaves. Count your loaves. Set a rule for this season. No new debt without agreement and a clear payoff strategy. Debt used foolishly turns a season into a sentence. We will talk exposure in step 6, but start the mindset now. And create a friction for spending delete saved cards. Require a 2-4 hour delay for non-essentials. Fools rush. Stewards review. If you feel embarrassed slowing down purchases, remember, embarrassment doesn't pay interest. Discipline does. Let me pastor your soul as you do this. Guilt might visit. Send it home. Shame might whisper. Tell it no shame, just numbers. You are not auditing your worth. You are auditing your wallet. Big difference. And as you put truth on paper, thank God for every green line. Gratitude increases alertness. Anxiety decreases intelligence. Philippians 4:6-7, pray, give thanks. Then the peace of God will guard your heart and mind. Peace is mental insulation. Audits are financial insulation. We want both. Now, why all this detail? Because after we audit the house, we can build the winter reserve intelligently. You can't build a wall if you don't know where the wind is coming from. When you see your true monthly essentials and the leaks you plugged, you will know exactly how much to set aside, where to store it, and what you're protecting. That's step 2. But step 2 cannot hold if step 1 is fantasy. Write it down. Order before overflow. Stewardship before strategy. Audit before increase. So tonight, do this within 24 hours. 1 hour of honesty. Gather your statements. Open your app. Take a notebook. Green your essentials. Yellow your manageable. Red your leaks. Cancel 3 things. Call 2 companies. Set 1 automatic payment. Create 1 30-day plan. Say it loud so your house hears you. I am a steward. I audit with dignity. I manage what I have. Tell your neighbor, what I don't measure will manage me. Tell your other neighbor, budgets are my boundaries, not my bondage. And lift your hands in your heart. Father, shine your light in my house. Show me the oil. I will count it, pour it, sell it, and live on the rest. Now, let's prepare to build that winter reserve. Because once the house is measured, we can insulate it for the season and beyond. Now that the house is measured, let's put insulation in the walls. Write this down. Reserves don't come from miracles. They come from disciplined seed time thinking. Say it again, louder. Tell your neighbor, seed it now so you can eat later. Genesis 8:22, read it with your spirit. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. That is not just about corn. That is the constitution of seasons. There is always a space between seed time and harvest. Always a gap between sowing and reaping. The question is, how do you live between the rows? Answer, a winter reserve. You don't panic in the gap. You plan for the gap. You don't worship the harvest. You respect the seed time. Write this down. Savings is not hoarding. Savings is seed time management. Proverbs 21:20 says, precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. Notice oil in the house. That same oil the widow poured. The fool eats everything in summer and blames God in winter. The wise store a portion because they respect seasons. Saving for winter is not fear. It is faith with a calendar. James 2:17, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Your confession of trust must show up as a transfer of dollars into a reserve that is faith wearing work clothes. So let's define winter reserve in holy, practical terms. A winter reserve is cash set apart to carry your essentials, your green list, through temporary disruption. Not vacation money, not treat myself money, not flash sale money, essentials money. Write it down. A winter reserve is oxygen for your assignment when the air gets thin. Target 1. Start small. Start now. If you have no reserve, your first goal is $300. Why? Because $300 catches the little fox's fees, a tire, a copay, and keeps you from tapping debt for paper cuts. Then move to $1,000. Celebrate it like you just paid off a giant because you did. Then build to 1 month of your green essentials. You already calculated them in your audit shelter, utilities, basic food, necessary transport, insurance, medication, and your committed giving. 1 month. After that, aim for 3 months. Then 6. If your income is volatile, commission, contract, creative push to 9. Don't argue with the numbers. Argue with your impulses. Where do you keep it? Separate it. Write this down. Separate accounts create separate behaviors. Open a dedicated high-yield savings with no debit card attached. Name it winter reserve, so your soul remembers the assignment. Not extra money. That phrase is the devil's coupon book. Winter reserve. Set it at a bank you don't pass every day to create time friction 24 to 48 hours between want and withdrawal. Time friction saves destinies. And do not link it to your shopping apps. Wolves read convenience. Stewards build gates. How do you fund it? Automate the seed. If you wait to feel generous toward your future, your feelings will buy sneakers. On payday, same day, automate a small transfer. Start at 2% if you must. If your cash flow is tight, start at $10 a week. It is not the amount that changes you first. It is the appointment. Then, every 30 days, increase by 1% or one small step. Write it down. Micro moves, massive momentum. The garden grows by drips. Some of you can do 5% tonight. Some can do 10%. The number is less important than the rhythm. Rhythm beats regret. Tell your neighbor, set it and forget it until it stacks and you respect it. Now hear me, you must plug the leaks while you fill the barrel. Anxiety spending is paying rent to fear. In the Bahamas, we board windows before the hurricane, not during. Don't keep saving $100 a month while bleeding $120 on late-night panic purchases. Put a 24-hour rule on every non-essential. Keep your card in the freezer, figuratively. Delete it from your phone. If you find yourself comfort buying, pause and pray, Philippians 4:6. Be anxious for nothing, with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known to God. Take a walk, drink water. Tell your soul, we save in seed time because winter's coming and spring is guaranteed. You are not depriving yourself, you are delivering yourself. Let me give you a story to anchor this. Brother Miguel, a chef, lost his weekday job when the restaurant downsized. Because he obeyed seed time thinking, he had a 60-day reserve. No panic, no pawn shop. No shame. He used day 1 to 7 to rest and pray. Day 8 to 21 to market weekend catering from his home kitchen, turning his work, not just hunting for a job. Day 22 to 45 to take a quick course in food safety and Instagram fundamentals. By day 46, he had 3 recurring clients. By day 58, he had a better weekday job plus a weekend income stream. What bought him the time? A reserve. Write this down. Reserves buy time. Time buys options. Options reduce fear. Reduce fear increases intelligence. And intelligent people make better calls in crisis. I want you to build a storm plan. 30, 60, 90 days. This is how kingdom people think before the clouds gather. Your 30-day plan. If income drops, you immediately shift to essentials only spending, the green list. Freeze non-essentials for 30 days. Contact lenders in week 1 mortgage, auto, credit cards, and say, here is my plan. Don't ghost. Negotiate. Many will grant deferments or interest adjustments to the proactive. Schedule your giving for the month, even if the amount adjusts. Keep the rhythm, because identity doesn't hibernate in winter. And set 3 income actions you can do within 7 days. Deliveries, tutoring, selling 2 idle items, offering a paid service to your network. Remember, faith works. Your 60-day plan. If disruption continues, you initiate medium adjustments. Sublet a room, share rides, downshift insurance temporarily within wisdom. Consolidate small balances to a lower cost instrument with a payoff plan, not as a lifestyle. Take 1 online skill, sprint more on that soon to upgrade your earning capacity fast. Decide what you will sell if needed, not your dignity, but your dust collectors. Write the list now while you can think clearly. Your 90-day plan. If winter lingers, you restructure larger stones. Consider a small apartment for a season or moving in with trusted family with a written agreement. Pivot to a different industry temporarily. Expand your streams. Remember, every problem is a business. The storm plan removes panic because decisions are pre-decided. Say it. Pre-decide to win. Let me pass to your motive. Saving is not self-worship. It is stewardship of assignment. Joseph in Genesis 41 stored grain in 7 fat years to feed nations in 7 lean ones. That was not hoarding. That was kingdom logistics. He turned storage into service. Your winter reserve is not a dragon's hoard. It is a bridge for your calling. It keeps you generous when others collapse. It lets you say yes to God's next instruction without selling your birthright to Visa. Luke 12:32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Kingdom citizens act like the king. They prepare, they provide, they protect. Write this down. Treat your reserve like a bill, non-negotiable. If you can pay the phone, you can pay your future. Some of you say, but Pastor, I can barely make it now. That is why we start micro. $5 set aside is $5 that won't ask a credit card for interest-bearing shelter. And when refunds or windfalls come, tax returns, bonuses, extra checks, practice priority. First, give as you purpose. Second, fund the winter reserve to the next target. Third, attack a high-interest debt. Only then consider discretionary treats. Celebration is not forbidden. It is scheduled after wisdom. Mark your milestones. When you hit $300, thank God out loud. When you hit $1,000, write a testimony to yourself. I can manage seasons. When you hit 1 month of essentials, take your family for a simple dinner and teach them the law of seed time. Your children must see wisdom celebrated, not just crisis managed. We are building a culture here, kingdom mindset in a temporary world. Now, a caution wrapped in encouragement. Do not let the number become your God. The reserve is a tool, not a throne. Keep your heart soft and your hands open. Maintain your giving lane consistently, proportionally, cheerfully, because generosity is not the enemy of reserves. It is a fertilizer. Give, and it shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Luke 6:38. We save to stabilize. We give to stay alive inside. Both are kingdom. I can feel some of you breathing again. Good. Breathe and build. Tonight, within 24 hours, do these actions. Open the separate account and name it Winter Reserve. Automate the first transfer for your next payday, no matter how small. Write your 30, 69, 0-day storm plan on one-page bullets, not essays. Place it with your green, yellow, red budget. Delete your cards from 3 shopping apps. And choose one small income action you will start in 7 days. 1. Say it with me. I plant in seed time. I eat in harvest. I endure in winter. Say it louder, reserves. Buy me time. Time buys me wisdom. Wisdom builds my future. And here is the bridge to our next layers. Once you buy time, you can learn. When the noise is muted by a cushion, your mind can hear instruction. Reserves create the quiet where ideas grow. In that quiet, you will convert your gift into value and upgrade your skills. Insulation that no bank can repossess. But first, honor the law. Seed time before harvest, reserve before reward. Write it down. I will not respond permanently to a temporary problem. I will respond predictably to a predictable season. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. God has already set spring on the calendar. Let's live like it. Now that the noise has quieted and the reserve has bought you room to breathe, let's open the door to the engine God hid inside you. Write this down. Your real security is not employment. It's the value of your God-given gift. Say it with me. My gift is my security. Louder. My gift makes room for me. Proverbs 18:16 declares, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Your job is what you were trained to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Say that again. Until it lands, your job is what you were trained to do. Your work is what you were born to do. You can be fired from your job, but never from your work. Jobs are seasonal downsizing, automation, industry shifts, policies you didn't write. But your gift is permanent because it is tied to design. Romans 12:6 says, having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. The economy can close a door. Grace keeps a door inside you. Crisis doesn't erase gift. Crisis exposes dependency. When a storm hits, it tests the house and reveals the foundation. Matthew 7, 2 builders, same rain, different outcomes. Some of you discovered that your foundation was a paycheck, not a purpose. Don't feel condemned, feel awakened. Write this down. Crisis reveals what we trusted. so we can re-anchor in what cannot be shaken. Do not be like the pagans, Jesus said in Matthew 6. Your Father knows what you need. Kingdom people don't panic when a paycheck pauses. They pivot to their work. Deuteronomy 8:18 reminds us, it is He who gives you power to get wealth. He didn't say He gives you wealth. He gives you power, capacity, ability, gift. God gives trees, not chairs. If you're praying for chairs and ignoring the tree in your backyard, that's not spirituality. That's laziness dressed in religious language. James 2:17, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Write it down. Pray, but then plane the wood. Fast, and then file the proposal. Speak in tongues, and then speak to clients. Let me pastor and provoke you with love. Some of you are rebuking the devil while neglecting the design. Stop begging heaven to do what heaven assigned you to do. 1 Peter 4:10 says, each one should use whatever gift he has received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Your gift is not for museum display. It's for market service. Service creates value. Value attracts reward. Occupy till I come. Jesus said in Luke 19:13, do business, trade, produce, work while you wait. Tell your neighbor, do business with your gift. Now, how do you locate this gift clearly? We are going to run a simple, holy, entrepreneurial scan. Write this down. My 5-5-5 gift discovery. Number 1, list 5 things people consistently ask you for help with. Not what you think you're good at, what they confirm you're good at. Do they call you to organize closets, to troubleshoot budgets, to edit resumes, to fix phones, to calm anxious children, to explain hard concepts simply? Your gift leaves a trail of requests. Number 2, list 5 things you do naturally with joy and ease. Even when you're tired, even when no one pays you, you bake bread to relax. You make spreadsheets to think. You turn chaos into order for fun. You can listen for 2 hours and remember details others miss. You light up spaces with design instinct. Grace feels like ease, not struggle. Number 3, list 5 problems you notice quickly that other people walk past. You spot the crooked photo frame in a room. You see the inefficiency in a process. You hear the off note in a song. You read the confusion in a website. You detect the missing step in a recipe. These 3 lists will intersect requests, joys, and problem sight. Where they overlap, a gift emerges. Circle the repeated themes. Now, write 1 sentence. I solved this problem for these people using this gift. That sentence is the seed of a business. Let me give you a testimony to stir your courage. Brother Aaron worked as a warehouse picker. Faithful, punctual, but invisible to promotion. Crisis downsized the line. He was sent home with a kind email. He had a reserve for 60 days. Praise God. And in the quiet, he ran the 5-5-5. People always ask him, can you set up my Wi-Fi? Can you fix this printer? Can you show me how to use my phone? He enjoyed troubleshooting. And he always saw where tech confused ordinary people. He wrote his sentence. I solve tech frustration for busy households using patient in-home setup and training. He printed 100 simple flyers. No glossy magic. Tech setup and calm. Wi-Fi, printers, phones, flat fee, kind teacher. He posted in 2 neighborhood groups. First weekend, 4 clients, $300. Second weekend, 6 clients, $520. By week 4, he had a weekday job again, but he kept the weekend work. Not a billionaire overnight, but a man who discovered he could not be fired from his work. Write this down. Start small, start service, start now. Don't wait for perfect branding. Solve a problem. Every problem is a business. Look at their confusion and see a service. Look at their feet and see a shoe business. If the daycare line is long, start an after-school pickup for 3 families with proper agreements. If elderly neighbors can't navigate telehealth apps, become the patient tech companion for seniors. If your friends hate budgeting, offer a 2-hour money scan session like we taught for a modest fee. If your colleagues' resumes read like obituaries, offer a resume resurrection package, $49 for a refresh, $149 for a full rewrite with an interview prep call. If your hands braid hair, do house call braids on Sundays. If your oven sings, offer a weekend micro menu, 2 items, pre-orders only. Don't boil the ocean, bake the loaf. And to my deep spiritual family, stop calling passivity waiting on the Lord when the Lord is waiting on you. In 2 Kings 4, the widow didn't receive coins from the sky. She poured oil from her house into borrowed vessels and sold it. Work. In Matthew 25, the master rewarded those who multiplied talents and rebuked the one who buried his. Bearing a gift because times are scary is not humility. It's fear disguised as stewardship. Say it out loud. My gift will work in winter. Louder, my gift will work in any season. Let's package quickly. You need 3 levels: a door, a room, and a house. The door, a free or low barrier entry that displays your value, a tip video, a 1-page checklist, a sample design, a mini before and after photo. The room, a first paid offer, a 30 or 60-minute session, a flat fee microservice, a one-time deliverable. Price it respectfully, $29, $49, $99. Charge something, because price creates attention and respect. The house, a short program or package, a 4-week group, a monthly maintenance plan, a retainer for recurring work. Don't overbuild, sell the door, then the room, then add rooms to the house as demand proves itself. Collect testimonials, early 2 sentences, and a star rating. Social proof is your silent salesman. Within 72 hours, do this. Write your 555 list. Call or message 3 people who know you and ask, what do you come to me for? What do I do better than most? What problem do you see me solve? Don't debate, record their answers. Draft your 1-sentence value statement. Create your door 1 page, 1 post, 1 photo album of before and afters. Send it to 20 people with a simple line: I'm opening 3 spots this weekend to do X. First come, first serve. Offer a founder's price to the first 3 in exchange for a review. Then deliver excellence. Excellence is evangelism for your work. Let me correct your inner critic. You say, but Pastor, I'm not certified. Listen, stay in your lane and be excellent in it. Don't call yourself a surgeon if you're a first aid kit. But you don't need a PhD to set up a printer, cut a lawn, design a flyer, bake a pie, organize a pantry, or tutor algebra. You need integrity, clarity, and consistency. Whatever lane requires credentials, honor that. Whatever lane requires competence and care, run. Proverbs 22:29. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. Skill, not noise. And this is where we pivot to our next layer. Once you clarify your gift and convert it into a doorway of value, you must sharpen it fast. Gifts open rooms. Skills furnish them. Write this down. Skills are insulation that cannot be repossessed. A bank can take a car. Nobody can take your competence. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. Wisdom brings success. Many of you are sweating with a dull axe. We're about to sharpen. But hear me, the sharpening starts after you start swinging. Don't hide in another course to avoid action. Act now, then upgrade. A final story to seal your faith. Sister Lila taught high school English for years. She loved language. She hated bureaucracy. In a crisis season, her hours were cut. She ran the 555. People asked her to rewrite bios, polish LinkedIn, coach interviews. She enjoyed helping others find their voice, and she always spotted grammar glitches like potholes. She created voice lift, resume, and profile refresh. Door, a free checklist. 5 phrases that kill your resume. Room, $79, resume, refresh. House, $279, full package with interview prep. First month, 11 clients. Third month, 23 clients, plus 2 corporate workshops. She returned to school part-time by choice, not panic. And she tied from both streams. Teeth-giving identity doesn't hibernate in winter. Now say it like a decree. My job is a resource. My gift is my source under God. Tell your neighbor there's no future in any job. The future is in the one who holds the job. Tell your other neighbor you can be fired from a job, not from your work. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. The world is full of problems. Kingdom people are full of solutions. Before the sun sets on the next 2 days, complete your 555, write your sentence, send your offer, and earn the first fruit from your work, even if it's $20, because momentum respects movement. And then we're going to do what wise builders do. We will upgrade the tool. We will add skill to gift, precision to passion, systems to service. Get ready, because the sharper your skill, the stronger your insulation, and the quieter the fear. We're moving from discovery to development, from spark to flame, from idea to income fast. Now, as promised, we sharpen. Write this down. Money can leave you. Skills can't be repossessed. Say it louder. Skills cannot be repossessed. The bank can tow a car, but it cannot tow competence. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. Proverbs 22:29. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. Wisdom brings success. Many of you are using more strength than necessary because the edge is dull. We will not sweat blindly in winter. We will sharpen precisely in winter. Kingdom people don't just pray for doors. We prepare for rooms. Write it down. In a downturn, your best asset is a skill you can deploy anywhere. Let me anchor this in the Word. Daniel 1:17. God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom. Skill is not a secular word. It's a sacred trust. Exodus 31:3. God says of Bezalel, I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with skill, ability, and knowledge in all kinds of crafts. Notice, the Spirit filled him with skill. The Holy Spirit does not make you lazy. He makes you excellent. 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show yourself approved, a workman who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Approved for what? For work, for deployment, for results. Write this down. Gifts open doors. Skills keep you in the room. Say it. Gifts open, skills sustain. Now, here is our crisis-friendly learning plan. 30 minutes a day. Not 3 hours. You never start 30 minutes. You can't excuse. Tell your neighbor, I'm upgrading. Louder, I'm upgrading. We're going to run a 1-2 week sprint, Y12. It is long enough to matter, short enough to finish. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 2.5 hours weekly, compounded over 12 weeks, equals 30 hours. 30 focused hours can change your ceiling. Don't despise small bricks. They build big houses. Write it down. Micro time, massive change. Choose one marketable skill. Track and commit. One. Not 10 tabs and no traction. One track you can deploy for income in this season. Here are 7 tracks. Pray, then pick. Sales conversations and pipeline basics. How to prospect ethically. Book calls. Present value. And close with integrity. Every vision needs a mouth. If you can communicate, you can convert. Bookkeeping and cash management. Track income. Expenses. Reconcile accounts. Prepare simple statements and create cash forecasts for small businesses. Money needs a manager. Digital marketing fundamentals. Messaging, simple landing pages, email sequences, local search basics, and social content that sells. Visibility creates velocity. Intro to coding or no-code building. Basic websites, simple automations, or apps that solve a niche problem. Systems are services in disguise. Trades and hands-on services, appliance repair basics, painting, landscaping, locksmithing, or home maintenance. Recession resilient, always needed. AI tools for productivity and service. Prompt design, document summarization workflows, customer support automations, and simple data extraction. Help businesses do more with less. Caregiving certifications, CPR, first aid, home health aid, medication technician, or special needs support. Compassion with credentials converts to consistent demand. Pick one track. Write it down. Circle it. Tell your neighbor the name. Say it loud. Commitment clarifies capacity. Now the method. Work while you wait. Don't wait for the economy to change. Change yourself inside the season. James 2:17. Faith without works is dead. Pray, then practice. Fast, then focus. Speak in faith, then ship your work. For your 1-2 week sprint, we are going to set 3 anchors: a daily appointment, a weekly output, and a public accountability. Daily appointment, set a fixed time and place. If it isn't scheduled, it's sentimental. 30 minutes, headphones in, phone on, do not disturb, timer running, morning before noise, lunch break, or late evening, whatever you will honor. Keep your tools ready, notes open, bookmarks saved, the exact course or text queued. Remove friction. Increase follow-through. Write it down. Same time, same place, same chair, until my mind makes it a highway. Weekly output. Every 7 days, you must ship 1 visible artifact. Not just notes, evidence. If you are on the sales track, record a 5-minute value pitch and send it to 3 trusted friends for critique. Or complete 10 intentional outreach messages to warm leads. Bookkeeping. Build a sample profit and loss statement for a fictional coffee cart and a cash flow projection for 90 days. Digital marketing. Create 1 landing page mock-up and write a 3 email mini sequence for a local business profile. Coding. No code. Publish a simple tool, maybe a task tracker or a quote calculator URL. Live. Share the link. Trades. Complete a practice project. Paint a spare room with clean edges. Repair a hinge. Document the before, after. AI tools. Design a 3-step workflow that saves a client 30 minutes a day. Record a screen demo and write a simple SOP. Caregiving. Finish 1 module towards certification and conduct a supervised practice exercise. Document hours. Output builds confidence. Confidence attracts clients. Write this down. Output over opinions. Public accountability. Tell someone what you're doing and when you finish. Better yet, post a simple weekly update. Week 3 of 12 completed X, shipped Y, learned Z. Not to boast, but to bind your will. Hebrews 10:24 says, let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. Accountability is a stirrer. Tell your neighbor again, I'm upgrading and I'll show my work. Let me give you some testimonies to stir expectation. Sister Joy, a receptionist, picked bookkeeping as her track 30 minutes a day for 3 months. She practiced by rebuilding last year's finances for her cousin's landscaping business as a sample project, then offered a simple monthly reconciliation package. First client at $150 a month. 3rd month, 3 clients, $450 a month. The economy didn't change. She changed capacity. Brother Desmond, a delivery driver, chose the appliance repair basics track. He shadowed a retired deacon, watched videos, and practiced on 3 donated units. Week 8, he replaced 2 dishwasher pumps and a dryer belt, documented the process, and posted in a neighborhood group. Calls started. 2 months later, Saturday-only service covering his car note. And Nurse Kemi added a medication technician certification. Her pay grade bumped, and she opened evening med management visits for seniors. This is not fantasy. This is focus. Now, some of you will be tempted to collect courses like souvenirs. Resist. Write it down. Don't hoard knowledge. Harvest competence. The proof of skill is not how many videos you watched, it's the result you can repeat. Build a tiny portfolio, 3 pieces done well. B13, half-baked. Ask for feedback ruthlessly. Proverbs 9:9, instruct the wise and they will be wiser still. Humility accelerates mastery, and pair your practice with prayer. God gives skill, but he also guides steps. Psalm 32:8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Every morning pray, Lord, sharpen me. Show me 1 micro improvement today. Then do the 30 minutes. Let me get aggressive for a moment because I love you. Cancel the excuses. I'm too old, Caleb said at 85. Give me this mountain, Joshua 14:12. Age is a testimony, not a tether. I'm too busy. You are scrolling your future away. Trade 30 minutes of consumption for 30 minutes of construction. I'm not smart. That's a lie from a lazy past. James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given. Ask, act, and watch clarity grow. What if I fail? You will fail at first. That's called learning. Failure in practice prevents failure with clients. Say it. Practice in private. Perform in public. Set a start line now. Within 24 hours, do 3 things. 1. Choose your track and write a 1-2-week plan with 4 milestones. Weeks 3, 6, 9, 12, 2. Block your daily 30 minutes on your calendar for the next 6 weeks. Non-negotiable. 3. Define your first weekly output and the person who will check it. If they don't reply, choose another. No invisible vows. Identity moves at the speed of commitment. When you finish week 1, celebrate with thanksgiving, not a spending spree, a psalm. Then keep going. Remember, skill without character is a weapon. Skill with character is a blessing. Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. Keep integrity. Don't claim expertise you don't have. Serve at your level. Charge fairly. Deliver excellently. And keep learning. As your skill grows, your prices will rise honorably because your outcomes justify them. That's kingdom righteous scales and diligent hands. And here is our bridge to the next move. Skills create capacity. They enlarge the cup. But a large cup under a dry sky stays empty. Capacity needs channels, pipelines, where value can flow. If you sharpen without building routes for that skill to reach people, you will feel frustrated, heavy, with potential, light on results. Write this down. Capacity without a pipeline is frustration. We will not stop at sharpening. We will build streams, multiple channels, where your refined skill can serve needs consistently. But for tonight, decree it. Skills cannot be repossessed. I will sharpen daily. I will shift weekly. I will show my work. Opportunity. 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 Winter is not a grave, it is a gym. Work while you wait. Upgrade while you pray. And watch God breathe on what you build. Now we build the channels. Say it with me. Opportunity. 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 Louder. Opportunity. 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 Crisis is not the curse. It is the catalyst. Write this down. Crisis doesn't just remove jobs. It reveals needs, and needs are markets. Ecclesiastes 11:2 says, give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Why 7? Why 8? Multiple streams. God is telling you, do not marry one river when I can give you many. Psalm 1 declares the righteous are like a tree planted by streams of water, not a trickle streams. Diversify the flow. Stabilize the life. Here is the Munroe lens. Look at a problem and see a product. Look at their feet and see a shoe business. Look at their confusion and see a service. Look at their delay and see a delivery. Look at their mess and see management. In Genesis 1, God looked at chaos and produced cosmos. Order is a business. In 2 Kings 4, the widow looked at debt and discovered oil. She didn't complain. She collected vessels. Write this down. Collect vessels. That means customers, channels, and containers for your value. You have sharpened the axe. Now let's cut grooves for rivers to run. Let me hand you a practical menu, because kingdom is not just hallelujah, it's also how to. Every item on this list is tied to a common problem in a crisis. Budgeting help. People drown in numbers. Offer a money map session. 2 hours to set up a simple budget. A calendar for bills, and a 90-day cash forecast. Price it at $79 starter, $149 premium with a 30-day follow-up. Use templates, deliver peace. Resume and profile writing. Unemployment rises, hope falls. Offer, resume rescue, and LinkedIn lift. $49 refresh, $149 full rewrite with a mock interview. We already proved it works. You speak value where people feel small. Home maintenance, mini services. Houses cracked under neglect. Create a Saturday fix list. Door hinges, caulking, screen repair, light fixtures, paint touch-ups. Flat fee for a 2-hour block, $120, materials not included. Document before and after. Tutoring and study pods. Kids drift in crisis. Launch a homework harbor. 9 0-minute small group sessions for math, reading, or science. 3 students, $25 each per session. Results and patience are your marketing. Meal prep and delivery. Parents are tired. Offer a Sunday pots. Pre-order 2 mains and 1 side. Limited quantity. $12 per plate. 5-plate family pack. $55. Keep it simple, clean, and consistent. Your oven is an asset. Turn heat into help. Transportation and errands. Seniors and busy parents need movement. Build a ride and ready service. School pickups, grocery runs, prescription deliveries with photo confirmation. $15 base plus $1 mile. Trustworthiness is currency. Childcare micro coupes. Safe, legal, and small. 2 evenings a week. 3 children, 3 hours with structured activities. Flat $20 per child per evening. Communicate, keep records, and uphold standards. Small digital services. Local businesses need visibility. Sell a local lift package, a basic landing page, a Google business profile tune-up, 3 social posts, and a simple email template. $299 starter, $499 premium. If you took the AI track, add a doctor email workflow, and charge an extra $99 setup, you are solving invisibility. Tech setup, COM, Wi-Fi, printers, phones, streaming devices, plug and piece, $69 home visit, $99 for 2 hours. For seniors, offer patient training with a printed quick guide. Confidence is a product. Cleaning and organizing. Chaos suffocates. Reset rooms. 1 room, 2 hours, labeled bins, before and after photos. $99 per room. Bundle 3 rooms for $249. Order breeds joy. This is not fantasy. It is focus and service. Write this down. Every problem is a business start where pain is present and relief is valuable. Tell your neighbor, find pain, deliver peace, earn honor. Now, the small start rule. Don't build a factory to bake your first loaf. Don't design a corporation to mow 3 lawns. What is in your house? That's the God question. 2 Kings 4. Tools, oven, knowledge, car, laptop, hands, patience, language, skills. These are capital. Start with what you own and then test before you scale. Write this down. 3 paying customers prove a stream. Not free trials that flatter your feelings. Paying customers that confirm value. The test sequence is simple. Define 1 tiny offer that solves 1 tiny problem. Clear, contained, deliverable in under 2 hours. Price it respectfully. I prefer simple starter pricing. A number you can say without apology and that covers materials, time, and a modest profit. Don't race to the bottom, race to integrity. Invite your first 10 prospects. Borrow trust, friends, neighbors, church WhatsApp, a community Facebook group. Script, I'm opening 3 spots this weekend for your offer. It includes XYZ. Founder's price is $1. In exchange, I ask for an honest review. First come, first served. Deliver excellence. On time, clean, communicate it, document it. Take photos with permission. Collect written testimonials and ask for 1 referral each. Excellence is evangelism. Debrief. What took longer than expected? Where did you shine? What confused the client? Improve the checklist. Adjust the price. Tighten the promise. Then repeat. Say it. Start small. Start service. Start now. Don't despise $150. That's a utility bill paid by value, not panic. Luke 16:10, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. Faithfulness graduates streams. Now the guardrails, because unmanaged streams become floods that drown you. Write this down. Management first, momentum second. Number 1, separate the accounts. Open a simple, no-fee checking account labeled streams. Don't mingle household money and business money. When $100 comes in, you can see it. When $30 in supplies goes out, you can measure it. Luke 16:2, give an account of your stewardship. Number 2, keep records. A simple spreadsheet or a paper ledger. Date, client, offer, price, cost, time spent, and profit. Review weekly. The numbers will tell you what to repeat and what to retire. Number 3, Calendar discipline. Block service windows and rest windows. Don't book like a desperate beggar. Schedule like a wise builder. Fatigue makes fools of geniuses. Number 4, price integrity. Do not bait and switch. Do not promise what you cannot deliver. Proverbs 11:1. Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. Number 5, set a generosity line. From the first dollar, decide a percentage to give. Maybe it's 10% tithe and 2% benevolence. This keeps your heart clean while your hands work. Kingdom people don't become stingy in winter. And avoid desperation decisions that destroy integrity. Do not slash prices to the point you resent your clients. Resentment leaks into your service. Do not accept every job. Accept aligned jobs. Do not pretend credentials you don't have. Stay legal. Stay ethical. Stay excellent. Do not spend tomorrow's revenue today. With every deposit, skim a small reserve, 10% into a winter reserve and 15% into a simple tax jar. You won't cry in April if you plan in January. Remember, God blesses order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Order is favor's friend. Let me give you 2 quick testimonies to oxygenate your courage. Uncle Theo worked maintenance for 30 years. Hours cut. Instead of complaining, he posted a Saturday fix list in the neighborhood. Doorbell installs, leaky faucets, dry events, garbage disposal swaps, flat $120 for 2 hours. First Saturday, 3 bookings. Third Saturday, 5 bookings, wait list forming. He bought labels, created checklists, wore boot covers, and took before and after photos. In 12 weeks, his stream matched his lost hours. He didn't beg, he built. Sister Mara is a nurse with 2 teens. Sundays drained her meal stress all week. She flipped the frame. Sunday pots launched. Curry chicken and veggie stew. Jasmine rice side. Pre-orders closed Friday. Pickup window Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. She captured 30 plates. Sold out week 1. She used square containers, printed warming instructions, and took a photo with each customer. Consent granted for social proof. By week 4, she added a vegetarian option and hired her daughter for plating. The crisis didn't crush her. It called her gift to the market. Say it again. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Every problem is a business. Look at their feet and see a shoe business. Look at their overflowing inbox and see an organization service. Look at their sick plants and see a repotting and care service. Look at their broken habits and see a 30-day accountability group. Don't mock the small. Jesus multiplied bread that a boy packed for lunch, John 6. He didn't dismiss small, he deployed small. Write it down. Bring your loaves and fish to the market and let God breathe on them. Now, a word on sequence. 2 or 3 streams are plenty to start. Don't build 8 leaky faucets. Build 2 tight ones. You have a job? Fine. Add 1 weekend service and 1 digital service. You're in between jobs? Add 1 weekday service and 1 evening tutoring pod. Keep it simple, visible, and repeatable. And bring your family into the flow. Assign the teen to manage the schedule, the spouse to handle receipts, the cousin to deliver. Crisis creates unity. Unity creates capacity. I want you to set a 7-2-hour challenge. Today, choose 1 stream from the menu. Tonight, write the tiny offer in 1 sentence. Tomorrow, craft the invite and identify your first 10 prospects. Within 72 hours, secure your first 3 paying clients. This week, deliver excellence and collect 2 referrals each. By next weekend, repeat. Stack the weeks. Streams become rivers. As I close this segment, hear me. The streams you're building must be protected. What good is a river if the banks are broken? Proverbs 25:28 says, whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. Streams need walls, boundaries, buffers, and risk reduction. Do not use new income to inflate old habits. Don't turn a season of testing into a lifetime of bondage. In our next step, we will reduce your exposure, because if you don't manage debt and risk, a temporary winter can become a long captivity. But for now, lift your hand and declare opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. I will see problems as products. I will build streams with integrity. I will test small, serve well, and document everything. The economy may have winter, but God is sending me streams. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8. I'm a kingdom manager, and I will not drown. I will direct the flow. Now we tighten the banks of the river. Write this down. If you don't manage exposure, a temporary season can become a long captivity. Say it again. Do not turn a season into a sentence. Proverbs 22:7 declares, the borrower is servant to the lender. That word servant is a winter word. Debt feels light in summer because income is flowing, but in winter, payments are fixed while your income can turn seasonal. Exposure is when your outgo is hard, but your income is soft. Wisdom is to harden the income and soften the outgo. Management is insulation. Let me give you a picture from the islands. When a hurricane approaches, smart captains reduce sail. They secure loose cargo. They don't argue with the wind. They manage the boat. Acts 27 says they began to lighten the ship and they lowered the gear. Write this down. Reduce sail. In financial winter, reducing exposure is lowering the gear. You don't stop moving, you move wisely. You don't live in fear, you live in prudence. Proverbs 22:3 says, the prudent see danger and take refuge. Seek refuge, not regret. Here is our plan. Simple, not complicated. Luke 14:28. Which of you wanting to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost? Counting is not unbelief, it is obedience. Step 1, identify exposure. List every debt, every card, every loan, every buy now, pay later, every friendly IOU. Write the balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment, and the due date. No fog allowed. A giant in the dark is bigger than it is in the light. Bring it to the light. Tell your neighbor, name your giants. Step 2, choose your weapon. You have 2 honorable options. The snowball. Smallest to largest balance. Why? Quick wins fuel willpower. Or the avalanche. Highest interest to lowest interest. Why? Math saves money. Which is better? Write this down. The best plan is the one you will finish. Pick one today. Don't romance both and marry none. Circle it. Commit. Step 3. Make the minimum on all. Attack one. You heard me. Protect your standing by paying the minimums on every account. Then take the extra, your new stream income, your cost savings, your Sunday parts profit, and throw it like a spear at the target debt. When it dies, roll the entire payment to the next. That's called momentum. Proverbs 13:11. He who gathers money little by little makes it grow. Little by little, you're tearing down a prison. Step 4. Implement a 90-day debt fast. That means no new debt. Freeze the cards, literally. Put them in a bag of water in the freezer. Remove saved cards from your phone and browsers. Cash envelopes for groceries and transport. Label 4 envelopes: giving, essentials, reserves, debt destroyer. Every deposit, allocate on purpose. Romans 13:8 says, owe no one anything except to love one another. Love is our only permanent obligation. Now hear me with a father's heart. Management is not embarrassment. Call your lenders. I said call them today. Pride is expensive. Favor often follows humility. Scripted, hello, I'm a loyal customer experiencing a temporary hardship. I want to stay in good standing. What hardship programs, rate reductions, fee waivers, or payment plans are available? Ask for an interest rate reduction. Ask for a late fee reversal. Ask to shift the due date to align with your pay cycle. Utilities, request budget billing or payment plan. Insurance, shop quotes, adjust coverage intelligently. Landlord, go early with a plan. I can pay this amount on this date and the remainder on this date. Bring a partial payment as a sign of integrity. Collections, negotiate settlements only with written confirmation. Write this down. Talk early, talk honest, get it in writing. Proverbs 15:22. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Seek counsel and make the call. While you negotiate, practice lifestyle humility without shame. Ecclesiastes 3:6 says, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. This is a time to cast away. Sell what you don't use. The extra TV, the fourth pair of sneakers, the gadgets that stare at you. If it doesn't produce peace or profit, it's a passenger, let it off the boat. Downsize the car to one you can own with dignity and maintain with sanity. Cancel subscriptions that teach you shows but steal your future. Cook at home beans are humble, but they pay debt fast. Wear last year's coat proudly. Warm is the new luxury. Write this down. Prudence is a kingdom virtue. We are managers, not performers. And I must warn you as a pastor who loves you, do not co-sign in winter. Proverbs 6:1-5 says, if you have put up security for your neighbor, deliver yourself, go humble yourself, and plead with your friend. Winter is not the time to tie your boat to somebody else's storm. Help with wisdom, not with shackles. And stop using long loans to solve short problems. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Don't take a 7-year car note to survive a 7-week crunch. Don't refinance your 30-year mortgage to pay a 30-day bill. That is how winter becomes prison. Say it's season, not sentence. Let me make it practical with a 7-2-hour exposure reduction sprint. In the next 24 hours, make your full debt list and choose snowball or avalanche in the next 48 hours. Make 3 calls, 1 to your highest interest lender, 1 to your largest biller, and 1 to your landlord or mortgage servicer. Ask for rate reductions, fee waivers, and payment alignment. In the next 72 hours, cut 3 expenses, cancel 2 subscriptions, and list 1 item for sale. Take that cash and seed your first extra payment on the target debt. Then, set your debt day, a weekly 15-minute meeting with yourself to pay, track, and celebrate progress. Put a chart on the fridge. Watch change fall 1 box at a time. Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Number your debts. Number your wins. Some of you are thinking, but Pastor, if I focus on debt, how will I breathe? That's why we built streams. Streams feed the snowball. Your new income doesn't exist to inflate old habits. It exists to shorten slavery. And don't forget the reserve we discussed. Your winter cushion is not a toy. It is a thermostat. It keeps you from swiping in panic. When small shocks hit, the reserve absorbs the blow so you don't run back to Pharaoh. Israel left Egypt wealthy because God paid them for their years. Don't walk back for onions and leaks of bondage. Walk forward in discipline. Let me encourage you with a testimony. Brother Aaron had 5 debts, 2 cards, 1 car, a store account, and a personal loan. He chose the snowball. He called each lender, got 2 rate drops and 1 fee reversal. He sold a set of golf clubs and a designer watch. He kept his gift, not his image. His local Lyft digital service from step 5 generated $600 in the first month. He sent $600 plus the minimums to the smallest card. It died in 3 weeks. Momentum rose. In 8 months, 4 debts gone. Only the car remained, and he had margin to spare. He told me, I sleep now. The numbers don't own my night. That's kingdom peace through management. Hear the word again. Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Diligence is a plan, you repeat. And here Romans 13:8. Once more, owe no one anything except to love. Our goal is not austerity for pride's sake. It is freedom for love's sake. Reduce exposure, increases generosity. When the wind calms, you will have a ship ready to carry others. Now, I know the paradox you feel rising in your chest. If I'm paying down debt and cutting expenses, how can I give? That is the kingdom mystery we must face next. In our economy, giving feels like subtraction. In God's economy, giving primes the flow. 2 Corinthians 9:6-8 says, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and God is able to make all grace abound toward you. We reduce exposure to break slavery, and we keep giving to keep our hearts free. We manage the numbers and we obey the Spirit, both. Write this down. Cutting chains is not cutting compassion. Kingdom people don't shut down love in winter. So, say it out loud. Season, not sentence. I will reduce sale. I will list, choose, attack, and finish. I will call and negotiate. Management is not embarrassment. I will practice lifestyle humility. I will not perform for people. I will not use long loans for short problems. My streams will feed my snowball. My reserve will protect my peace. And my heart will stay generous. Because I am not a slave to numbers, I am a servant of the King. Prepare your spirit. Next, we will talk about giving in winter. Because kingdom people don't go cold. We light fires that warm the city. Now, lean in winter is when hearts go cold. But kingdom people light fires. Say it with me. Kingdom people don't shut down compassion in winter. Louder, kingdom people, don't shut down compassion in winter. Write this down. Generosity is spiritual insulation. It keeps you human when numbers try to make you a machine. Proverbs 11:24-5 says, there is one who scatters, yet increases more. The generous soul will prosper, and he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Crisis shrinks hands. The kingdom stretches them. Not recklessly, but righteously. Not foolishly, but faithfully. Let me anchor you in God's law, not in my opinion. Genesis 8:22, read it with me. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest will never cease. Seed time precedes harvest. Write it down. Giving is not a slot machine. It is alignment with the law. Farmers don't tip the soil. They sow into it. We don't bribe God. We obey God. 2 Corinthians 9:6-8. Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. Whoever sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. And God is able to make all grace abound to you. Grace is God's wind behind your work. Sowing does not replace management. It completes it. Faith plus work. Work while you wait. Sow while you work. Now hear the balance of a father's heart. We do not give to impress people. We give to express kingdom. Jesus said in Matthew 6:3, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And scripture says in 1 Timothy 5:8, if anyone does not provide for his own household, he has denied the faith. Write this down. Generosity has order. Provision is not selfishness. It is stewardship. We have already set your reserve. We have already reduced your exposure. Now we set your generosity plan. So winter doesn't freeze your soul. Order precedes overflow. So how do we give in winter? Intentionally, predictably, cheerfully, not random guilt, but disciplined grace. Decide a baseline percentage. Maybe your tithe at 10%, plus 2% benevolence as we taught. Then add planned acts with your time, your skills, and your goods. Some of you say, Pastor, my money is tight. Fine, start with time and talent, because value is not only cash. James 2:15-17 paints the picture. If a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food, don't just say, be warmed and filled. Do something. Write this down. Serve while you sow. Here is how we will do it as a people. Every Sunday, bring 1 can of goods. Not once, every week. Beans, soup, tuna, baby formula, small streams, steady flow. That can create a net under someone's Tuesday. Acts 2:44-5 says the early church had all things in common and distributed to anyone as he had need. You don't need Rome's budget to make Rome jealous. You need consistent compassion. Tell your neighbor 1 can every week. That's our rhythm. And midweek, set a compassion hour. Put it in your calendar like a bill. 30 minutes to call an elder. Deliver a bag of groceries, tutor a child, fix a hinge for a single mom, build a resume for a laid-off brother. Galatians 6:10. As we have opportunity, let us do good to all, especially to those who are of the household of faith. Let me give you a phrase to tattoo on your mind. Tithe your skills. If you do Resume Rescue, offer 2 scholarships a month. If you run Right and Ready, schedule 1 free medication pickup for a senior every Friday. If you bake Sunday pots, reserve 5 plates for single parents at cost or sponsored by others. If you handle local lift, adopt 1 micro business and lift them without a bill once a quarter. This is not revenue loss. This is reputation seed. Proverbs 3-4. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Favor opens rooms money can't rent. But pastor, won't people take advantage? Some might. That's why we pair compassion with clarity. We don't co-sign in winter. We don't subsidize laziness. We don't feed addictions. We establish simple guidelines. Short-term relief, long-term empowerment, groceries, transport to interviews, childcare during job hunts, tutoring, build bridges with accountability. In Isaiah 58, God defines true fasting. Share your bread with the hungry. Cover the naked. Then your light shall break forth like the morning. Light comes when compassion moves. Write this down. Relief today. Restoration tomorrow. We help you through. We also help you up. Let me fuel your faith with 2 winter stories. Sister Mara, the Sunday Pots pioneer, told me she set aside 10 plates each week, 5 paid by generous sponsors, 5 at cost for single parents. One night, a weary father teared up at pickup. He said, "This got me through the shift." 2 months later, he took her flyer to his company HR. They ordered 40 plates for a staff day. The seed wasn't a slot pull, it was alignment. God breathed on service. He multiplied integrity. Then there's Brother Devin, who ran Resume Rescue. He decided that every 10th resume would be free for someone laid off. He prayed over each one by name. 2 of those clients landed quickly and referred him to 3 paying friends. One of those friends turned into a retainer with a staffing agency. The free slot became a river favor, not a formula. Say it, favor, not a formula. And do not underestimate the power of goods made visible. When we stack those cans in the lobby, it preaches to the children, this is who we are. When teens spend their Saturday delivering reset rooms for elders, it trains their souls. This is what we do. When men carry boxes to the food pantry, when women lead budgeting circles for young mothers, when business owners create 2 apprenticeship seats each quarter, that is kingdom colonization of winter, community becomes a heater. Crisis creates unity, unity creates capacity. Now, plan your giving like you plan your bills. I want every household to write 3 lines on the fridge. Line 1, my percentage what I give first, automatically, non-negotiable. Line 2, my practice, what I do weekly with time and goods. 1 can, 1 call, 1 act. Line 3, my project, what I support this quarter as a family. A pantry drive, a scholarship seat, a Saturday service, a missions envelope. Teach your children to drop the can into the bin. Let them see your hands counting envelopes labeled giving, essentials, reserves, debt destroyer. They will learn that love is budgeted, not leftover. Deuteronomy 6 says, teach these things diligently to your children when you sit at home, when you walk by the way. Let them watch you love on schedule. I hear someone whisper, what if I fail 1 week? Get up and sow again. Farmers miss a row and still reap. Proverbs 24:16, a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again. Your father's not counting misses, he is watching motives. Keep your heart soft. Keep your hands open. Keep your feet moving. And yes, protect your own household while you bless others. If you have no food, come take from the pantry you help fill. That's not hypocrisy, that's family. Write this down. Generosity completes the insulation. Reserves guard your emotions. Reduced exposure guards your margins. Skills and streams guard your income. Giving guards your soul. When you keep giving in winter, fear loses its grip. Greed loses its whisper. Depression loses its teeth. You remember who you are, a child of the King, a citizen of the kingdom, a distributor of hope. Luke 6:38 echoes across the season. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap, not because you play God's slot machine, but because you join God's supply chain. So lift your voice and declare, my heart will not freeze. Say it again, my heart will not freeze. I will sow in winter. I will serve in winter. I will schedule compassion. I will tithe my income and my gift. I will bring a can every week. I will make a call every week. I will set a project every quarter. I will refresh others, and I will be refreshed. We are nearly there. We have walked through identity, management, reserves, gifts, skills, streams, and exposure. Now we have wrapped it with generosity. In a moment, we will assemble all 7 into a simple, repeatable crisis protocol, a rhythm you can run anytime clouds gather. But before we move, put your hand on your heart and say, Lord, keep me warm, because winter cannot win when love keeps burning. Now, we assemble the 7 into one rhythm, a protocol. You can run anytime clouds gather, hands open, hearts steady. Say this with me. Manage the season, don't marry it. Louder, manage the season, don't marry it. Write this down. You don't need perfect conditions. You need kingdom management. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season. Genesis 8:22. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest will never cease. Seasons come, seasons go. God remains. Our job is management. Let's lock the 7 in your bones. Say it with me, audit. Say it again, audit. That means stewardship before strategy. Know what's in your house. Say it, reserve. Seed time thinking in hard time. Save on purpose, even when it feels small. Say it, gift. You can be fired from a job, but not from your work. Say it, skills. Upgrade fast. Skills can't be repossessed. Say it, streams. Every problem is a business. Create flows. Say it, reduce exposure. Don't let debt turn a season into a prison. Say it, give. Kingdom people don't shut down compassion in winter. Clap your hands. Audit, reserve, gift, skills, streams, reduce, exposure, give. That's the insulation. That's the engine. That's the protocol. Now hear your father in the faith. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Say it. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Don't quit your calling because a number scared you. Don't burn your tools in a cold night. Don't sell your seed for soup like Esau. Don't shut your business forever because a month went thin. Tighten, don't terminate. Don't rename yourself broke, curse, or finish. You are a son, a daughter, a citizen of a kingdom that cannot be shaken. John 16:33. In this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Chew this. Temporary storm, permanent God. Manage the season. Don't marry it. Now I'm going to make it so plain a teenager can run it. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it may run. 7 days, 1 week. Movement, not perfection. Day 1, audit your house. Sit down for 90 minutes with your accounts open. List every income, every bill, every debt, every subscription, every asset, every tool, every room. No fog allowed. Luke 14:28. Which of you, wanting to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost? Put your life into 4 envelopes. Giving, essentials, reserves, debt destroyer. If you're married, do it together. Unity is credit for the soul. Take a photo of the whiteboard. This is your winter map. Day 2, cancel and renegotiate. Spend 60 minutes on the phone. Call the highest interest card. Ask for a rate reduction and a fee waiver. Call utilities. Ask for budget billing and payment alignment. Call insurance. Get 3 quotes. Cancel 2 subscriptions you forgot you had. Move every due date to the week you get paid. Acts 27, they lighten the ship. Lighten yours. Proverbs 15:22. Plans fail for lack of counsel. If you need help, get a wise brother or sister on a 3-way call. Pride is expensive. Humility is profitable. Day 3, start your winter reserve. Open a separate savings titled Reserve Do Not Touch. Automate a small transfer the day after payday, 2%, 5%, 10%. Pick a number and obey it. Sell 1 unused item, an old phone, a gadget, shoes with a story, but no assignment, and seed at least $100 into the reserve. Proverbs 21:20. Precious treasure and oil are in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man devours all he has. Wise people store, foolish people swallow. You are wise. And write this down. Every windfall this winter, tax refund, gift, bonus, 10% to give, chunk to debt, chunk to reserve. Not sexy, but safe. Day 4, convert your gift to value. Take a clean page. 2 Kings 4. What do you have in your house? Write 5 problems you love to solve. Ask 3 people, what do you come to me for? Circle the overlap. Draft 3 simple offers with prices. Resume rescue, $49 basic, $99 premium. Sunday pots, $12 plate, $50 family tray. Ride and ready, $15 delivery, $25 round trip meds. Put times, turns, and a start date. Your job is what you were trained to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Put it in writing. Gift is security. Day 5, choose your skill track. Proverbs 22:29. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. Pick one up, greater line to your gift. One course, one certification, one software, one mentor. Block 1 hour a day on your calendar, skill hour. Buy the book. Enroll in the module. Set a 30-day milestone and a 90-day result. Remember, skills are insulation that can't be repossessed. Banks can take a car, they can't take your competence. Day 6, test a stream. Not a dream, a test. In 24 hours, run a micro offer. Post in 3 local groups. Text 5 prospects. Knock 1 door. Cook 10 plates and pre-sell 8 before you heat the oven. Do 2 resumes in a day. Deliver 1 pharmacy run. Set one $99 local lift setup for a neighbor's online page. Collect your first dollar with integrity and excellence. James 2:17. Faith by itself, if it does not have work, is dead. Work your faith. Ship something. Opportunity. 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 Day 7, give and serve. Bring the can. Bring the tithe. Block your compassion hour. Sponsor 1 plate. Call 1 elder. Tutor 1 hour. Deliver 1 bag. Bless 1 person anonymously. Isaiah 58. Share your bread with the hungry. Then your light shall break forth like the morning. Light it up. This is not subtraction. This is ignition. Luke 6:38. Give and it will be given to you. You are joining God's supply chain. When the week ends, set your rhythmic anchors. Debt day, 15 minutes weekly to pay, track, and celebrate. Skill, hour daily, no excuses. Stream, block, 2 focus slots a week. Compassion, hour 1, act of love, on schedule. Put them on the fridge, under 3 lines. My percentage, my practice, my project. Teach your children the cadence of kingdom. Deuteronomy 6, teach them when you sit, when you walk, when you lie down. Hear the word, anchor in your heart as you go. Psalm 1, he shall be like a tree planted by rivers of water that brings forth his fruit in season. His leaf also shall not wither. You are that tree. Winter may nip the air, but your roots drink from a river no bank can shut. 1 John 5-4. This is the victory that overcomes the world. Even our faith. Faith plus works. Belief plus management. And Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Crisis is not the end. It is a classroom. Let it train you. I speak courage over you. Joshua 1-9, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. I declare clarity in your audit, favor in your calls, discipline in your reserve, revelation in your gift, acceleration in your skill, customers in your stream, and joy in your giving. May Psalm 90-17 rest on you. May the favor of the Lord our God establish the work of our hands. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Now lift your voice and seal it. Say it season, not sentence. Say it louder. Manage the season. Don't marry it. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Write this down. I will not just survive this season, I will be trained by it. Say it again. I will be trained by it. I will come out wiser, leaner, stronger, and more generous. Because to everything there is a season, and my God is permanent. Now go, begin day 1 today. Don't negotiate with fear. Negotiate with bills. Don't wait for perfect weather. Set the sail you have. The wind of God is behind you. Winter cannot win when wisdom is at the wheel. Amen.